Okay, it's DJ back again, melting some snowflakes. Wanted to give you talk to you guys a little bit about Machiavellian tactics. A lot of people know Machiavelli, the name from Tupac's songs and when he was talking about Machiavelli, but a lot of people don't understand the historical context and what it really means. So, Machiavelli was a poet, uh, playwright, and author back in the 1400s in Italy. And he wrote a book called The Prince. Now, the summation of the book and the tactic that is outlined in the book can be broken down to problem, reaction, solution. And I'll create the context for you. So, in the book, this prince was a wealthy prince. Back in those days, obviously, Italy wasn't one nation, it was a series of city states. Each city state had its own rulers or king or however you want to state it. But this prince had ambitions to rule all of Italy or as much of Italy as he possibly could. And however, he didn't want to do it the normal way because if he built a large army, first of all, it would drain the resources of his kingdom. And second of all, building a large army, it's becomes self-evident to the other city-states that he's building a large army. So they would have a kind of a forewarning that it's possible for an invasion. So instead, what he did was he used subversion tactics, and what he did was he took all the murderers, rapists, vagabonds, all the dregs of his society out of his dungeons and those that he captured, and he gave them a pardon. He just sent them to one neighboring specific city-state and said, you have a pardon. You can come in and out of my city as you see fit, as long as you don't do the bad things here, but you have to do them all over there. So over time, as he captures more criminals, he does the same thing. Continues to send all these criminals to this one city-state and giving them amnesty, if you will. Well, over time, what happens is the society destabilizes. The leaders of that city-state can't keep control of the murder. The everything goes along with it. Their society starts to break down, and during this, at some point in time, through negotiations and implication, that city-state's leaders reached out to the prince because he was a very wealthy nation and a very wealthy city-state, and well respected, reached out to him for his help. Now, keep in mind, he created the problem. So the prince would then say, yes, I'll absolutely help you with your problem. However, for me to do that, if I fix your problem, you have to swear fealty to me. In other words, be subservient or swear to my kingdom as your leadership before I do it. So then he makes a show of marching his army in, and within short order, next thing you know, the criminals and all that are pretty much taken out of the city. And what he does is he just takes those criminals and advises them, okay, I got to stop operating here, and sends them on to the next city-state. And through the book, he does this over and over again. He ends up taking over the majority of Italy doing this. So he created the problem, got the reaction that he wanted, the city-state asking for his help, and provided the solution as long as they gave something in return. In this case, their sovereignty, right? So problem, reaction, solution. Now, this isn't the first time that anybody thought of this. This is obviously tactics that in his life he saw going on around him. I'm sure he thought of some of it as far as the imaginary, but the basic pieces he took from society and what he saw happening around him at the time. Keep in mind, this is mid-1400s, 1452, I believe, somewhere in that range. So it's been over 600 years that these tactics have been known and published, at least, just in that book alone. Problem, solution, reaction. So the reason I wanted to talk to everybody about this is to give you a little context, make you understand that these tactics aren't anything new. They've been studied and reevaluated and honed for many, many hundreds of years by governments, people, society, pretty much everything you can think of. And for those snowflakes out there that everything is, words can be equated as action, and you're so hurt about everything that anybody's saying, or they might offend you, you're being subverted by these very same tactics, people. If you understand the tactics, when you look around, you're quickly able to identify who are using these tactics on you and what their possible end game is. So I'll be doing more videos out there to kind of explain recent U.S. history and the Machiavellian tactics and bring in some more context. But I wanted to give you the basics of Machiavellian tactics and problem, reaction, solution, and so you can look out for it in your daily lives. So this is DJ, throwing some truth out there to melt some snowflakes and hopefully make them no longer snowflakes after this, and maybe a little bit longer. And I'll be coming back to you soon with more info. Talk to you later, guys.